Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my friend Lisa Swanson with us. Going to talk a little bit about health and nutrition in this segment. Hey, Lisa, welcome to the show.
Hey, Kevin, how are you? Thanks for having me here today.
Things are good. So, Lisa, I asked you to come on the show today because I was thinking about you. This time of year, I do really well with nutrition. I'm out running every day. Things are good. I've done really good during this time. But as soon as it gets cold, I go out to run. I'm like, no thanks. And I stop doing all the things I was doing, and all that weight I've lost comes right back. Kind of common.
More than common. Yes, it is. It is very natural almost. I think what happens at this time of year, because we've been so conditioned over the years when we go back to school in September, that September is almost like a time to get serious, even past our school age years. I know I'm well past school age years. And it's still, September comes around, summer is over. It's like, okay, time to get serious. Let's get all our ducks in a row. Let's get into shape. Let's start eating better. Let's get organized. It's almost like a little mini New Year's resolution time, because personal trainers get busy this time of year, health coaches, the gyms all tend to get busy now. So what happens, I think, is that people, like you said, you're like, okay, I'm going to eat right. Let me go out and start running. But then the cold weather starts. The holidays begin to happen. There are get-togethers, and all those things that you were doing start to slip away. I think it's partly because we don't, or people in general tend to think of themselves either being on a diet or off a diet. Right? It's you're on getting in shape or you're off the wagon with getting in shape. It's all instead of looking at it like this is a lifestyle. This is just who I am. This is how I live. And that means you need to start taking a habit-based approach. You need to start looking at things like, well, let me just create this one habit into my life. Let me do one thing. Keep it simple. Don't be so strict about everything. Keep it really simple. Like, okay, I'm the type who gets up in the morning, exercises. Maybe you don't go out and exercise every single morning out in the cold. Jogging, maybe sometimes you go for jog, maybe sometimes you stay indoors and do some body weight cardio. But the thing is, it has to be simple and it has to be habit-based so that you can continue into those difficult times.
So, Lisa, one of the other challenges I see is we're all on a different part of our journey with health and nutrition. And, you get someone like me who goes from drinking 4 cans of Mountain Dew to drinking 2. And, my friends are like, oh my God, that's so bad for you.
Yeah.
Okay, it probably is, but I'm doing better. But I just find that sometimes people are just so quick to judge. Those of us who are trying to do better, like I said, we're just not that far along on the journey. And you're out with them and you're having some French fries and they're like, I thought you were trying to get your health and weight under control. You're eating French fries, you know how bad those are? And you're like, you know what, Lisa, remind me not to go to lunch with you anymore.
Right, exactly.
It's so critical of our family and friends because in some cases, I know we think we mean well. Like, Lisa, I know you mentioned you're trying to lose a few pounds, so you shouldn't eat that. And then you feel bad. You're like, oh, geez, Lisa's right. I shouldn't have ordered French fries. And then, it kind of puts you in the slump. And then, God forbid, you're like, the heck with it. I'm just going to eat whatever I want now because I already ate one bad meal. Why not have 2 or 3?
Exactly. It can easily, that little lapse can go into a relapse instead. And I think people mean well without realizing that they're really derailing somebody's efforts. And like, how do they know that you didn't plan all week to have those fries as a special treat? How do they know? It's funny, and it can go both ways. People are either telling you, oh, come on, eat. I don't know why they like to sabotage, right? Oh, don't forget about that. Eat, go ahead and eat. Or they go the whole other side, like you said, and saying, oh, what are you eating that for, Kevin? You shouldn't be eating that. That's bad for you. I know you said you wanted to lose weight. And you feel like saying, be quiet. You don't know my journey. You don't know what I'm on. And people don't know. And they're also in that mindset of going back to the whole thing with the habits. They're in the mindset of you have to be on a diet to lose weight. And that's the exact opposite of what you want to do. Going on a diet and having these strict rules is what makes you lapse. And what makes you lapse, not only lapse, but relapse. Instead of just 1 meal or 2 meals, it becomes a day, it becomes a week, becomes a month, becomes a year. And yeah, I wish people would stop that because everybody's journey is so different. I had one client who was doing fantastic, talk about being critical, doing fantastic, lost 30 pounds. I can't remember how much percent body fat it was, but she was down all these inches, and she tends to gain in her waist, right? And like most people, And where you tend to gain, that's the last part to come off. It always happens that way. And she was out with friends, and they were actually saying to her, well, you could work on your abs a little bit more. Don't you think you should be exercising a little harder? Like your arms and legs look okay, but what about, so they were picking apart her body. So it's like, where is it in society that we believe it's okay for us to pick apart somebody's body? It's not. Leave it alone.
So Lisa, talk to me about how you work with your clients to help them reach their goals.
Okay, well, it actually ties into everything that you just said. So all of my programs, I do private coaching as well as group coaching, and they both encompass my 3 pillars of weight loss success, which are habit-based nutrition, meaning I don't do diets, I don't do meal plans. People ask me to write up meal plans. I refuse to do it because it does not work. You need to learn how to eat, not just to get the weight off, but to keep the weight off. And that means focusing on your habits, one habit at a time, and nailing it. The second pillar is progressive overload and periodization, which is a fancy way of saying I design my programs in a way that grow with you, so that while you're losing weight in inches, I'm taking care of your body, making sure that you're not getting injured so that you can continue to exercise, making sure that you're putting muscle on, not losing muscle, and making sure that we're setting your body up to increase that metabolism so that you continue to lose body fat. And the third pillar brings it all together, which is banishing limiting beliefs. So basically that means we're going to try to get rid of that head trash that we have, where maybe you go into a diet thinking that you want to lose 40 pounds, but part of you only believes it's only possible for you to lose 10. And you will start self-sabotaging once you reach that 10. So we got to bust through that. And any other roadblocks or misbeliefs that you have about your own journey, we're going to help break through that so that you can continue on. That's a huge part of it. So basically my programs, that's exactly what they do. It just brings those 3 pillars together so that people can get results and change their lifestyle so that they can maintain those results.
So Lisa, how can people reach out to you? How can they learn more, my friend?
They can go to my website, bodyandsoulcoaching.com. They can shoot me an email at lisa@bodyandsoulcoaching.com as well.
So
And
Lisa,
I'm also on Facebook. I'm on Facebook just under Lisa Swanson Fit.
awesome. Lisa, I really appreciate taking a few minutes to jump on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, Kevin. I appreciate it.